Imagine being alone at night, walking through an ancient cemetery, feeling the cold wind cutting through your skin, and hearing only the distant sound of dry leaves being dragged across the ground. Now, imagine that suddenly, amidst the sepulchral silence, you hear laughter. Not just any laughter, but a high-pitched, distorted, almost childlike laugh that echoes among the tombs. You look around, trying to find the source of that disturbing sound, but see nothing but darkness and moss-covered headstones. Then out of nowhere, a figure appears. A clown, but not a common children's party clown. His makeup is smeared, his clothes look dirty and worn, and his eyes empty, dark, as if hiding a terrible secret. This is the Midnight Clown of Chicago, an entity that has haunted the city's cemeteries for decades, leaving behind only a trail of fear and uncertainty. What lies behind this legend? Is it just an exaggerated rumor, or is there something much darker behind these appearances? Stay with me until the end of this video, because today we're diving deep into this macabre story. Chicago has always been a stage for urban legends and horror stories, from the Great Fire that devastated the city to the numerous reports of hauntings. In historic hotels and theaters, there is no shortage of sinister stories that feed the popular imagination. But among all these narratives, one in particular has intrigued residents and paranormal investigators: the Midnight Clown. According to reports dating back to the 1980s, visitors to Chicago's cemeteries began reporting strange encounters with a clown who seemed to appear out of nowhere. Unlike ordinary clowns, this one did not perform at parties or amusement parks. He appeared only at night, always between midnight and 3 in the morning, and only in specific cemeteries in the city. His behavior was erratic. Some witnesses said he just stood among the headstones, silently watching. Others claimed he laughed, an unsettling laugh that seemed to come from all sides at once. But the most frightening were the accounts of those who tried to interact with him. Some said that as they approached, he simply disappeared, as if he had never been there. Others, however, claimed that when they looked at him for too long, a sense of absolute dread took over their bodies, as if they were facing something the human mind should not comprehend. What could explain these encounters? There are various theories about who or what the Midnight Clown is. Some people believe it is just a prankster in costume, perhaps a performance artist who found a bizarre way to entertain himself at the expense of others. But there are those who swear it is not a human being. Some of the most frightening descriptions speak of glowing, empty eyes, a smile too wide to be natural, and a presence so oppressive that even the most hardened skeptics felt fear. One of the most popular theories is that the Midnight Clown is the spirit of a man who worked as a children's party entertainer and was tragically found dead in one of the city's cemeteries under mysterious circumstances. Some say he was murdered by a group of criminals, while others claim he took his own life after falling into disgrace. The strangest thing is that his grave was never identified, and his name was lost to time. This fact led many to believe that his soul never found rest, and that therefore it continues to wander the cemeteries, haunting those who cross his path. But what if it's not just a lost spirit? What if we are dealing with something much older and more malevolent? Some paranormal investigations suggest that the Midnight Clown could be a demonic entity that feeds on human fear. In many cultures around the world, there are stories of beings that take on disturbing forms to frighten and weaken their victims, draining their life energy. What makes this theory even more disturbing is the fact that many witnesses who reported encounters with the clown claim to feel extreme fatigue in the following days, as if something had drained their strength. Additionally, there are records of people who mysteriously disappeared after claiming to have seen the clown. In some cases, personal belongings of these people were found near cemeteries, but there was never any trace of their bodies. This leads us to an even more frightening question. Is the midnight clown just haunting the cemeteries? Or is he looking for something or someone? And if this entity is much more powerful than we imagine? After all, clowns are naturally unsettling figures for many people. But when one of them appears in the most unlikely place and at such a dark hour, it's impossible not to feel a chill down your spine. Are we dealing with a simple ghost or something much worse? Whatever the truth behind this legend, one thing is certain. Reports about the midnight clown continue to emerge. Recently, some investigators decided to test the veracity of this story, spending nights in different cemeteries in Chicago, hoping to capture some evidence. Although many of these investigations ended without any concrete results, there are videos and audio recordings that show strange laughter and shadows moving among the tombs with no logical explanation. And if the midnight clown is real, and if he is still out there, waiting for the next victim to play his macabre prank, perhaps we will never know the definitive answer, but one thing is certain. If one day you are in a cemetery after midnight and hear distant laughter echoing through the cold early morning air, and think twice before trying to find out where it comes from. Sometimes, some questions should not be answered. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Also, turn on the notification bell to be alerted about our posts. See you in the next video.